So we're continuing with the day 45 and day 46 assignment. That's for Tuesday and Wednesday, April the 28th and 9th. So we're going to go ahead and do water here, H2O. So go ahead and fill in the elements, H and O, and then that's going to create a water molecule. That's the compound down at the bottom. Okay, so how many atoms? You have 2 hydrogen atoms here. You have 1 oxygen atom, and you put all those together to create 1 water molecule. So what's the atomic mass? Well, you have 2 times 1.01. I said we'd be going to the full decimal numbers that you get on the periodic table. There is a copy of the periodic table there's a module called reference sheets, and if you go in that, you'll see a periodic table that you can use. You can always pull one up on Google. Just Google periodic table, go to images, and you'll see 1,000 of them. So just find one. You want to find one that has the atomic number, the atomic mass, the name, and the abbreviation. So those 4 things. Okay, so here we're going to have 2.02, and that's in atomic mass units. That's 2 atoms of hydrogen. Here we have 1 times 16.00 equals 16.00. And that's atomic mass units, AMU. And if you add that together for the entire molecule, you have 18.02 atomic mass units for 1 water molecule. So now what we're doing is we're multiplying everything over here by 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. So everything that's here goes through that and now becomes moles over here. All right, so number of moles. Well, you had 2 atoms here. You have 2 moles here. You had 1 atom of oxygen here. You have 1 mole. You're just taking that 1 atom and multiplying it by that number to give us 1 mole. And then for the water molecules, same thing. So this column and this column are the same. For molar mass, the numbers here are the same. The only thing that changes is that it's now in grams, and that's the significance. These are all in grams. And that's the significance of this number here. It'll take 2 atoms of this at 2.02 atomic mass units and convert it to that exact same number, 2.02 in grams, which is what we measure things with in a laboratory. That's the unit that we use in a laboratory. No other number will make that direct conversion from 2.02 to 2.02 grams. Okay, down here we have 16, so it's 16 grams, and finally we have 18.02 grams. Okay, and up here the number of atoms. So if it's 2 moles, you don't have to do the math on this. Just write 2 times 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. For here it's 1 mole, so it's 1 times 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. And finally, this is also 1 mole, so it's 1 times 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. So that's how many atoms or molecules you'll have of each of these compounds. Okay, so we've completed the table. So let's go ahead and answer the questions. So how many water molecules in 1 mole of H2O? So here's 1 mole of H2O, and this is how many water molecules are in a mole of anything, actually. It's how many molecules in a mole of anything, or atoms are in a mole of anything, but that's the number right there. So just write that out as a complete sentence. Again, always write unit of measure and the substance you're talking about. Unit of measure and the substance you're talking about. There are 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecule H2O in 1 mole H2O. Okay, how many grams in 1 mole of H2O? So here's 1 mole, and here's 18.02 grams. All right, so there are Okay, so there's 18.02 grams of H2O in 1 mole of H2O. How many moles of oxygen in 1 mole of H2O? So for every mole of H2O, you need 1 mole of oxygen. You should say is. Okay, so 1 mole to 1 mole. How many grams of oxygen in 1 mole of H2O? So 1 mole of H2O, you come to the oxygen row and you look at the molar mass, it's 16. So 16 grams in 1 mole. Okay, so there's 16 grams of oxygen in 1 mole of H2O. How many hydrogen atoms in 1 mole of H2O? So we're up in the hydrogen row and we're coming all the way over here, get on screen here, to number of atoms here. Okay, so it's 2 times 6.0 to 2 times 10 to the 23rd. I don't care if you do the math on that. You would multiply 2 times 2.06, 2 times 6.022. I'll go ahead and do it. But you can just write it like this. That's perfectly good for me. We're not interested in the specific number. So how many hydrogen atoms there? Okay, so there are 12.044, that's 2 times 6.022 times 10, 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of hydrogen in 1 mole of H2O. And finally, how many grams of hydrogen in 1 mole of H2O? So again, go up to the hydrogen. Everything we're doing is referencing 1 mole of H2O, go up to the hydrogen, and there's your answer, 2.02 grams of hydrogen in 1 mole of H2O. Okay, and there it is. Let me be sure you can see that. Okay, there are 2.02 grams of hydrogen in 1 mole of H2O. So actually I'm going to leave this one entirely for you to do. So this is the one I'm not going to do. You do it exactly like the other two for carbon dioxide and for water. You're going to write out CHCH4. You're going to count how many carbons you have. Just look at that. Count how many hydrogens you have. Just look at that. Go on the periodic table and find the masses and go ahead and fill this out exactly the same way. Go ahead and write these out exactly the same way. So this is the one for you to do, and go ahead and do that. So I'm going to wrap up this video. You have 2 days to do this, Tuesday and Wednesday. Remember, you can do these, you can do all the assignments at the same time. You can do them on Tuesday, you can do them on Friday, it doesn't matter. They're due next Monday on May the 4th. And I'll go ahead and put up Thursday's assignment, and I'm probably going to give you a Friday assignment this week only. Normally you won't have a Friday assignment, and because I want to be sure we maintain a certain pace here. Okay, so have a good day, have a good week, be safe, and I'll talk to you again soon.